welcome into Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. It's a cross-town rivalry and a co-red affair as the Lynchburg Hornets welcome the Randolph Wildcats into town. A midweek showdown here in Turner Gymnasium. I'm Joe Brennan, joined alongside my good friend and partner Ethan Morotsky. Kevin Nestor will join us momentarily on this sideline. Ethan, I mean, this one certainly has been circled on the calendar this season. A lot of hype, a lot of anticipation, and just looking at the numbers, these two teams match up beautifully.
Oh, absolutely. It's circled on everybody's calendar, not just for basketball, but for every single student and student athlete here at the campus of the University of Lynchburg. If you see on the other side of the court, obviously there's a ton of people over there, but there's even more on this side of the court. It's full of fans. It's jam-packed. Both these teams looking for a win. It's the Lynchburg showdown.
Well, there are the numbers on your screen, and what really stands out to you is the points per game and opposing points per game for the Randolph Wildcats. 81.5 while they allow 82.7, and this is a team that likes to play fast, a lot of intensity, very high scoring on both sides of the ball whenever they show up.
Yeah, absolutely. When we look at the last game, Randolph only won by one. I think both of these teams are going to cater to each other. It's going to be a super fun one for not just the players, but for us here in the studio and every single student here and the fans. It's going to be an awesome matchup.
Well, there are certainly key playmakers on both sides of the floor tonight. We'll start with the Randolph Wildcats, and there's nowhere else to look than the leading scorer in the ODAC. The man, Jordan Philip McLeod. He has been nothing short of an absolute stud this season. 20.3 points per game, shooting 45% from the floor and 35% beyond the arc. And Ethan, he's done it on the defensive end as well.
Obviously, this is the player that Randolph's going to look for, and you know that the scouting report for the Lynchburg Hornets is going to be shut this man down. And for the Randolph side, it's going to be, obviously, you want to get him the ball, but it's the Lynchburg defense focusing on him. That's going to allow every other player on this team to get the ball too. So it's going to be interesting to see how both these teams match up.
And with that, now we'll take a look at the stars player to watch for the Lynchburg Hornets tonight. Really showed up in the middle of the season, and he's been phenomenal ever since then. Jake Hart has been a stud for the Hornets, especially his last game here in Turner Gymnasium. He had a double-double with 12 assists and 11 rebounds. Wasn't able to reach the triple-double mark in points, but he can do almost everything else for you on the floor. Also, a defensive leader who will mainly see matched up with Phillips McLeod tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. A guard from sophomore in North Carolina. It's going to be awesome to see what he can also do in this matchup, and that's the thing that favors this Lynchburg side a little bit, is that there are a bunch of players on this team that are playmakers and that can really do it on both sides of the court.
So with that, let's walk you through the starting lineups for today. First, for Randolph, in the backcourt alongside Phillips McLeod, it'll be Amari Gorham and Evan Weehee. In the front court, it'll be Matsufa Diop and Landon Wagner. And on the other end for the Lynchburg Hornets, they go with their three-guard backcourt with Jake Hart, Pearson Young, and Michael Gray. In the front court for the Lynchburg Hornets, it'll be John Faust alongside the freshman phenom in Jamarcus Brown.
Well, I said it when we were talking about Jake. This whole Lynchburg team is stacked full of talent, so it's going to be so fun to watch this Code Red game. Code Red games, not only are they obviously going to be loud, but it's going to be tough to keep composure, and I think that's what this Lynchburg team really has to focus on today.
Well, the stage has been set. We're still going through general introductions right now, but Ethan, you can really start to feel the intensity starting to boil in this gymnasium right now. A co-red matchup, that means it's a red out. A whole lot of students in the building right now, and already pregame they were getting into it.
Well, it starts off with everybody, like you said, it feels like every seat in front of us is packed up. You see on the, well, you can't see it, but on the right side, everybody's standing up. Everybody's wearing red. On the other side of the court, it's packed full of not just Lynchburg, but also Randolph. And like I said earlier, this is the Lynchburg brawl. Both these teams 5 minutes away, and that just puts extra bragging rights into this one. So this, it's such an exciting matchup, not just because it's code red, but it's for bragging rights too.
Well, these two teams certainly have a whole lot of history. Last season, they split their matchups 1-1. Both teams got the win on their own home floor. But two very different teams in this matchup. And all eyes are on the Randolph Wildcats' Phillips McLeod, who the last time played in Turner Gymnasium was during the Wayne Prophet Classic, where he went on to score 38 points, tying his career high against Nazareth.
The fact that that's just tying his career high is so impressive. The talent that he displays on the court on both ends, it's fantastic and it's unmatched.
Well, this Randolph team and Lynchburg team are really both looking to climb up in the current ODAC standings. They find themselves at 8th and 11th, respectively. Both currently teetering or right outside that playoff picture. A win today would certainly boost your chances of making the ODAC tournament.
Absolutely. Lynchburg sitting at 10-10 on the season. Just a couple weeks ago, lost this matchup to Randolph by 1 point, and I'm sure that's sitting really heavy on them, and they're going to look forward to bounce back on this Code Red Day and give the fans what they want to see, and that's a win here on Wayne Prophet Court in Turner Gymnasium.
Gorman Brown at the center circle. Pearson Young comes away with it, and Lynchburg will start with possession.
Fantastic way to start the game, one step at a time for this Lynchburg team.
Hart going up top, looking for Brown, throwing it down. An exclamation point to begin today's contest.
That was one of the greatest plays you're going to see tonight, but it's just, like I said, it starts off with the first play, and they're starting it.
And I think that all comes from your head coach and Hillary Scott, drawing something up to really get the fans juiced up here early.
This is not his first Code Red game, and he's been here for a very long time. He knows exactly how to get this crowd pumped, and he's catering to his audience.
Yeah, Hillary Scott in his 16th season with the Lynchburg Hornets. As Diop heads to the charity stripe for a pair after the early foul from Jamarcus Brown. His first free throw clangs off back iron.
Both these teams going to have a similar outlook. Lynchburg, obviously, you want to play with this loud intensity, but you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. And Randolph, you're going to try and quiet everything down and shut everybody up in here.
Randolph, a very good free throw shooting team. They shoot just around 74%, really led by Phillips McLeod as Young drives in with the right hand, draws contact, no whistle, but rolls out of bounds, and the Hornets hang on to it. Phillips McLeod actually leads the conference in free throws attempted. We mentioned that Nazareth game earlier on. He went 9 for 9 from the free throw line in that ball game against the Eagles.
Really going to be important to keep him off the line, as it's almost guaranteed that he's going to get the free points.
Mike Gray in the corner. Mike Gray connects.
It's the beautiful look off of the inbound pass. Another beautifully drawn up play.
A quick start for the Lynchburg Hornets. Phillips McLeod back up top, a straightaway three from Wagner rattles home.
Really nice response. Intensity is high after every single three so far, after every single point so far. Really good job to bounce back.
Hart takes a high screen. He'll dish over to Faust. Over to the captain and Young. Pull-up jumper from 18. It's like butter.
Couple great bounces off the rim. Ball falls through the net. Randolph going to try and see what they can draw up here.
Weehee gets his pocket picked. Here comes Michael Gray the other way. Off the square and in.
Beautiful, and that's the defense that we're going to be talking about for Lynchburg. They know Randolph's going to play it quick, and they're going to play it right the same way.
Wagner, another straightaway three. Can't get it to go. Young with the rebound. Mike Gray from way downtown. No good. Wagner corrals the rebound. Mike Gray. Now Pearson from the angle. No good. Faust, the offensive rebound, goes up, gets the 2.
Beautiful job, a nice steal to keep it on their offensive side of the court. Great offensive board from Faust to knock that one in.
Phillips McLeod driving on Hart, draws the whistle. They'll count it. An and one opportunity for the 6-foot senior guard. And a pair of substitutions come in for the Wildcats. It'll be Graham alongside James Jr. Phillips McLeod, a guy that missed last year's regular season. Got an extra year of eligibility. As Young draws the whistle, carving his way down the left side of the lane. Foul awarded to Cole Perry. Pardon me, Perry checked in rather than James Jr.
It seems like every time Pearson Young's getting the ball, he's driving towards the paint, trying to force as much contact as he can.
Young able to connect on the front end. Pearson Young did miss a couple of games in the middle of the season. He's been battling an ankle injury for some time, and he has played through it the last couple of weeks. And really an invaluable piece for the Lynchburg Hornets as Gray scoops up the offensive rebound. Dribble handoff, Gray. Step back at the elbow. Mike Gray, 2 for 2. A hot start for this sophomore.
He is really feeling it tonight. A beautiful step back, a little bit of contested, but a beautiful shot.
Jake Hart just harassing Philip McLeod on the outside, just face guarding him, refusing him to touch the rock. Gorham inside, stripped away. Here comes Hart running the floor. Inside for Jamarcus, he can't hang on, stripped away by Perry. How about the hustle by Perry, loses it on one end, gets it right back on the other.
Well, that's really what you're gonna get from both of these teams. Like you said, Randolph they play a very fast game, and Lynchburg's gotta find a way that they can do the exact same and take it to them.
So with that, Randolph will take a timeout as Lynchburg has jumped out to a 14-6 lead here in Turner Gymnasium.
At a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. "100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it."
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. We're now joined by our sideline reporter, Kevin Nestor, to tell us about the series history between these two.
You can feel the intensity already, and when you look at the series history, Lynchburg has won 8 of the last 10 games. They've gotten the better of the Wildcats. However, they did split the season series last year with Randolph winning the last game 66-65. It was a nail-biter. I think we can expect much of the same here tonight. With that, I'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Here's Jake Hart in the corner. Continuing the hot streak from downtown Lynchburg. 3 from 3 from the perimeter.
And the sophomore from North Carolina, our player that we've been looking at today, a beautiful shot in the corner.
Gorham, catch and shoot, but a heel on the line, out of bounds. It's another turnover.
These turnovers are going to be so crucial. You obviously know that the intensity on the bench for Lynchburg is going to get hot, but every single character in this crowd is going to make you know that you made a mistake.
Now here comes the full court press from the Wildcats. Lynchburg able to break it with relative ease. Pearson Young backing down Phillips McLeod, a drop step. Off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, got it. The putback finish from Pearson Young, a guy that really is not afraid to get dirty down low on the inside and fighting for those rebounds, Ethan.
Yeah, he loves the physical play, and that's exactly what you love to see from your coaching staff, a player that can do something like that.
Phillips McLeod able to find an inch of breathing room but can't connect with it. Michael Gray just got away with a travel. Lost his footing, got right back up. Official must have blinked.
Yeah, really found a little bit of luck for the Hornets there, but I'm sure they'll take it.
Backdoor cut, here's Pearson Young, inside, got it. Lynchburg off to a hot start, 21-6.
Beautiful job finding that pass in the paint to Pearson Young, and an even better job from Pearson to find his way under the net.
Top of the perimeter, it's Davis, a whistle off the ball, and another turnover for the Wildcats. Those turnovers have certainly gotten to them early. That's their 5th thus far, just 1 for Lynchburg, as a pair of substitutions come in for the Hornets.
5 turnovers in a couple minutes is really crucial for this Lynchburg offense. Finding that extension early on in this game is going to be so big for such a close matchup.
Eli Thomas and John Anderson into the ball game. A 1-3-1 zone for the Wildcats. They try and go underneath. It's picked away by Phillips McLeod. Trying to go coast to coast. Banks it home. Beautiful finish on the inside.
A risky pass for Lynchburg. Really nice takeaway from McLeod, and an even better job to hit that one in.
Hart, he's going to try it from the angle. Off the front of the rim. Henderson, the rebound. Can't get it to go. Batted around and ripped away by Randolph. Phillips McLeod the other way. Fading away, draws the foul. And he'll receive 2 shots at the line after the foul by Young.
Really great defense there from Randolph, snuffing any opportunity that Lynchburg has in the paint. And Lynchburg has a ton of presence on the paint with Henderson. I mean, 6'6", and you got 6'9" at Van Nellison. I mean, there's so much physical and potential in this paint. It's really tough to play defense when they get under the rim.
I already mentioned Phillips McLeod leads the conference in free throws attempted. A very efficient shooter at the stripe. Hits the front end as Tyler Buggs subs in for the Hornets in place of Faust. He'll get his first breather of the afternoon. 2 for 2 from the line. A whistle here, unsure what this is about. The officials will huddle at midcourt as you get a look at the new scores table here at the University of Lynchburg. That's a pretty cool addition.
Yeah, I walked into the gym today and had no clue that we were getting it. I actually only saw it when I got up into the broadcast booth, and I had to go down and look at all of my bosses, and I was like, when was this information going to come out?
Arrived yesterday around 4:30. Eli Thomas in the corner. Gets it right back. Hart now inside the arc. He'll pull up. Air ball. Couldn't find anything. Rebound grab by Graham. Rayvon Graham kicks over, gets it right back. Now Phillips McLeod, a mismatch with Van Nellison. He wants to take him to the hoop. Great defense from this 6'9" freshman to contain the crafty guard. Graham, a pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound corralled by Perry. A long 3. Cox can't find it. Henderson in transition. Draws back iron. And Phillips McLeod comes away with a loose ball.
A lot of good looks. If you get one, you're going to certainly take it.
Oh my goodness. The spin, the shot, the finish from Phillips McLeod.
Fantastic display of athleticism. We're going to talk about him all game. He's doing a fantastic job so far driving at this Lynchburg defense, saying if you can't stop me, I'm going to keep doing it.
Phillips McLeod with an early 7 points thus far. Pardon me, 8 points, about to make it 9. (21-13). Here comes the trap on Buggs, right back over Van Nellison, banks it home for 2.
Really great job by Tyler Buggs keeping the composure.
And Lynchburg's defense fell asleep in transition. An easy lay-in for Maurice Davis. Buggs calling for it underneath. Lynchburg just trying to find a way to get it to him. Thomas hesitates, kicks out for Hart. Left wide open. Hart buries it.
Fantastic job passing all around, taking your time, finding the open man.
Hart not so much of a three-point shooter. They're going to sag off him all night, looks like. Great defense from Thomas, forces the fadeaway. Ricochets off the front of the rim, rebound Buggs. Henderson driving in, but he traveled. And Pearson Young alongside Amari Gorham for the Wildcats return to the contest. Hart will get a breather on this sideline. He's someone that Hillary Scott has said time and time again, it's just so tough for me to take him off the floor. He's a guy that does everything you need him to do. And really the maestro of this Lynchburg offense. Hart currently ranks 3rd in the ODAC for assists per game as Gorham drives inside and finishes with the right hand.
It's just been back and forth by both of these teams. One team scores, the other goes right back and puts it in their face.
Gorham, a really physical player, a 6'6" wing, is Nellison with a quick trigger, no good. And Buggs was called with a loose ball foul.
A little bit of frustration from the fans here, but there's always going to be frustration on every foul called here in the Code Red game.
Well, that is 5 team fouls on Lynchburg, the first for Buggs. As you get another look at Phillips McLeod doing what he does best, scoring. 5 team fouls for Lynchburg, just 2 for Randolph. 11 minutes to go here through the first 20. Great defense from Gray. And a beautiful floater off the hand of Graham. Gray from way downtown off the front of the rim. Beautiful follow. Nellison with a tip. And Hillary Scott wants to talk things over. Lynchburg out in front, 28-19.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. It's a cross-town rivalry between the Randolph Wildcats and the Lynchburg Hornets, as Lynchburg has jumped out to an early advantage, leading by 9. They've led by as many as 15 here in the early moments.
They did have a really nice run to start off this first half. Randolph not backing down, though. They've been keeping it somewhat close.
Certainly always within striking distance with the way that this team can score. Outside, it's Graham. He'll go underneath for Davis. Working on Buggs, spinning back. Can't get the roll. And a physical rebound grabbed by Young. Looks to be some miscommunication between this Lynchburg team right now on the floor. Gray, pull-up jumper from the short corner. Silky smooth.
He has been mid-range magic all game today.
Pass intercepted by Young. Here comes Jamarcus. Hop step. An offensive foul. The charge was set by Elijah Cox.
I tell you what, with Jamarcus going full speed into the paint, that takes some guts to be able to step in front of him and draw that foul.
I certainly wouldn't want to stand in front of that. Lynchburg really contesting that inbound. Philip McLeod able to draw some separation. He'll bring it across the timeline.
Constant pressure from both these teams.
He gets some separation and a finger roll finish on the interior.
Wide open layup, great job to go around really everybody. That's an easy layup every time.
Mike Gray over for Buggs. He'll go up. Can't get it to go, but he'll earn 2 attempts at the charity stripe.
Really nice job drawing the contact, giving yourself 2 free throws.
The first personal on Wagner, just the 3rd team foul for Randolph. Lynchburg with 6 team fouls. The Wildcats will be in the bonus moving forward. As Tyler Buggs misses the first attempt on his pair, it's tough to go a game without mentioning that Lynchburg is dead last in the conference in team free throw percentage, shooting 60%. But as bad as that sounds, it's been on the upswing. They're up about 6 percentages from 2 weeks ago where they were shooting 54%. Phillips McLeod gets himself in the air. They'll call a foul on Pearson Young. That'll be his 2nd. Or no, pardon me, they'll say a foot out of bounds.
You can see in the bottom right of your screen a couple of the Lax players letting Randolph know that it's Lynchburg ball.
Here comes Faust, clear the runway. Oh, he got hacked. A smart foul from Landon Wagner to make Faust earn it at this stripe. But Ethan, there's not a whole lot of guys that want to jump with Jonathan Faust.
Well, Jonathan Faust, one of our own here at LHSN. We always love to see him jumping on 2nd place in that dunk contest. He's not a fan of us mentioning it, but we're not. We always got to put in that word. It's good fun. Jonathan Faust, fantastic ball player, fantastic guy.
Really the definition of a gym rat. A guy that you really can't catch outside of the floor or the weight room. He is someone that is very, very dedicated to his craft. One of 2 returning starters for Lynchburg a season ago alongside Pearson Young. And a guy that started his career playing at the community college level, transferred here to the Hill City, and he's had a significant impact ever since arriving. Underneath for Weehee. Tries to dump it off. Now caught in traffic. Buggs got elbowed in the mouth, no whistle. He's still on the back of the court, underneath the hoop on the baseline.
Looks like he's covering that left eye. seeming to get an elbow into the head area, but no call from the referee. Frustration from the Lynchburg side.
So we will have a quick timeout. We'll keep it here nonetheless. Just over halfway through the opening 20 minutes here in Turner Gymnasium. It's an 11-point Lynchburg advantage. Ethan, what have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen intensity from both teams, and not just the teams, but the crowd. Obviously, you're going to get a ton of action from the benches from both sides, but really this is a good way that you start the game off if you're the Hornets. You've gotten an extension of a little bit of a lead. You're up by 11. You just got to find a way that you can keep the fans in it and keep the intensity up. If you're Randolph, it's the complete opposite. You got to find a way to keep that intensity down and shut this whole entire scheme down on this Code Red night.
Well, the fans are definitely into it. A t-shirt toss going on right now. I was getting a little into it as well.
Yeah, I saw you were putting your hands up. I was hoping they were going to throw one up here. We would have had to show it off on that camera.
Well, I don't think they got the arm for that.
You never know. Some people got some cannons out here.
Well, at the stripe, it'll be Maurice Davis. So far this season, Davis shooting 52% from the free throw line. Can't get the first to go. In their last game, Davis had 4 points against Virginia Wesleyan in 19 minutes of action, but on the defensive end, contributed 2 steals. Can't get either of them. An empty trip. Young wants to go, now retreats back to the center of the floor. Bugs screaming for it underneath. Michael Gray will just heave a 3. And Michael Gray, you cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Michael Gray, what a start.
He is red, red hot, and this Lynchburg offense is going to keep looking for him on the other side.
Underneath, tangled up, but a couple of extra steps taken by Diop results in another Wildcat turnover. That has been their Achilles heel here through the opening 12 minutes. 8 turnovers thus far.
With the amount of pressure that this defense from the Hornets, they're putting it on them, and a lot of contact.
Faust looking for Gray. Great defense from Gorham. Now Bugs will give it a go. Working on Diop. Right hand hook. Up and in.
A lot of physical contact, and that's what Bugs loves to do under that paint. He loves getting the ball and driving through that defense from Randolph.
Well, a lot of physicality, but a lot of finesse on that touch to give Lynchburg their largest lead of the day, up by 16. Diop in the corner, right in front of the Lynchburg bench, the silencer.
Really great job, really great passing all around for Randolph Wildcats. Finding that open man, it was just gifted to them.
Get your popcorn ready. Young and Phillips McLeod. Here comes the double team from Diop. Way over the head of Callaway. It's a Lynchburg turnover.
Really great job there from the Wildcats, double teaming Young, knowing he's one of the most experienced players on this team. If you can silence him, this offense could come to a halt.
With that, 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Lynchburg leads 37-24 behind 12 points from Michael Gray. 37-24, the Lynchburg Hornets out in front of their crosstown rival, the Averett Wildcats. Or pardon me, the Randolph Wildcats. I don't know why we got Averett up there.
A little bit of a mistake. It's all right. We've been having some trouble here today, but
new graphics, new scores table, new sideline reporter on the hardwood today. We've got a whole lot of variables, but bringing you the best here on LHSN for a men's basketball Code Red affair that has left the place crowded today.
We've been blessed by everything that we have here at LHSN. It's been a lot of fun so far in this first half. It's hard to believe there's even a second half after this.
Weehee, a long three, ricochets off the back of the rim. Callaway comes away with the board. Young driving in, an awkward finish in the air, but converts it nonetheless.
Really pretty bounce off that rim.
Now you see the pace by this Randolph team. They love to push in transition, or even after a made basket. We've seen a couple of those long floors, long passes the length of the floor, where they've been able to sneak behind the Lynchburg defense.
Well, like you said earlier, they've caught Lynchburg's defense sleeping a couple times, and that's really how they favor, and that's how they get McLeod to the line, and that's why he's so good on those transition plays.
Phillips McLeod already with a pair of trips to the stripe today. He's 3 of 4 as of now. Make that 4 of 5. Phillips McLeod with 128 free throw attempts entering today. Second place was 112. And he's shooting at 87%, which leads the conference. I mean, that is truly something you don't see every day. A guy leading in attempts and in percentage.
That's something that you love to have on your team, because like we said earlier, if he goes to the line, it's almost a gimme.
Mike Gray kicking it back. Henderson, top of the perimeter. He stops and spins as it ripped away from Weehee. Now Young will try a three. Fouls tracking down the board. Gets it back to Michael Gray. Underneath Young, goes up and puts it through.
Really great job from that Lynchburg offense, keeping that play alive, not playing until the whistle has been blown.
Another foul on Lynchburg. That's now their 9th team foul. After the next foul, it'll be double bonus the rest of the way. As you take a look at the hustle right here from Faust. I mean, that's the kind of thing that a coach drools over.
Yeah, workhorse, not just on the defensive end. Obviously, we know Faust, really, really great job on this side of the court. But when you bring it into the offense, like I just said, he doesn't stop until that whistle is blown. And that is something that every coaching staff loves to have on their team.
To give you a perspective of how this kid can score and do so in bunches, in his last 5 games, Phillips McLeod has scored 20, 32, 18, 19, and 22. And in that game where he scored 22 against EMU, he shot 8 for 10 from the floor. I mean, this guy is efficient.
Been red hot the last couple games. That's exactly why we're watching him on this court, and that's why Lynchburg going to try and contain him.
Long pass that goes right into the chest of Weehee. Phillips McLeod, pump fake, drives inside, floater over Henderson is no good, but the follow from Gorham cuts the deficit back down to 11, and Hillary Scott is livid. Nonetheless, the Hornets bowed an 11-point advantage with 5.5 to go here in the first half. welcoming back into the contest. It's an 11-point lead for the Lynchburg Hornets. Off to a quick start, led by Pearson Young with 11 points, 12 from Michael Gray. And this is a team that's got a whole lot. They find production in a lot of different areas.
Kind of the opposite of what Randolph's doing. McCoy, really the front runner in points here. They got to get more people involved on the offensive end.
Underneath, it's Young, draws the foul. This one awarded to James Jr. in his first moments of entering the contest. Just 5 team fouls. Nonetheless, 2 shots here for Pearson. And you really can't understate what Young means for this Lynchburg team. Obviously, as a captain and a veteran leader in his junior campaign, really epitomizes the culture that Hillary Scott tries to implement with this program.
That's exactly right. This culture and this system and program really kind of runs through players like Pearson. He started games as soon as he got here to the University of Lynchburg, and he hasn't slowed down one bit.
And here's another day one starter, Phillips McLeod. Pulls up at the elbow. Off the back rim. Callaway with the rebound. 13-point lead for the Hornets. Callaway, no hesitation. Callaway from way downtown.
Deep three, beautiful, and that is so much confidence in Callaway to make that shot.
What the drive and finish by James Jr. Corkscrewing his way inside for the deuce. Brings it back to a 14-point game.
Really good response by the Wildcats after Callaway drills that three, going back on the other end.
Pearson Young gets the roll. What a start it has been for Pearson Young. A guy who at the beginning of the season was averaging over 15 points per game that has since trailed off to just about 11 points per game. And again, I mean, we go back to that ankle injury that he suffered in the Nazareth game. It certainly looked like it has lingered with him a fair amount. In his last 5 games, Pearson has scored 2, 7, 7, 6, and 9. At the beginning of this season, he began with 15, 25, 15, 15. Here he'll try it from deep. Pearson Young, no good. Rebound gathered by Phillips McLeod. Trying to get the baseline. Cut off by Faust. Back up top, James Jr., a deep triple. Buried it from Roanoke.
Really great job there by James Jr. cutting that lead down as much as they can with this time dwindling down towards 3 minutes.
He's only a 25% three-point shooter on this season. They went 0 for 2 in their last game against Valdez. Hart, the hop step, the finish, the deuce.
Really great job, Hart. They were giving him a little bit of an open look. He wanted to drive into the net and get a little floater going in there.
A lot of contact, no whistle. I mean, it really looked like Hart got him right across the forearm. He's clearly shaken up. I mean, the officials are clearly letting him play today.
Yeah, absolutely. McLeod waddling a little bit, gets right back up. And that's something that you really love to see from your coaching staff, too, after your player takes a huge hit, going right back up and playing the game.
Davis lost the handle, but possession stays with the Wildcats.
Lynchburg putting a ton of pressure on Randolph so far in this matchup. Randolph's giving it right back to him. No easy points have been scored, so not a lot of easy points have been scored in this one.
Yeah, that's tough to say when you got Lynchburg with 50 as Pearson Young gets called for the foul on the jumper. And you can tell he does not agree with it.
See, maybe got a little bit of his forearm, but
yeah, I think he clipped the elbow. That will send Weehee to the line. Weehee, a transfer for this Randolph team that came in last season, a guy that started his career at the Division II level. And really the definition of a glue guy, one of those players you can just throw in at the wing and get great shooting, great perimeter defense. He has been a key piece in what the Wildcats have done this season. As he brings the lead back down to 13. Lynchburg has led by as many as 16 here in the first half. Callaway in the corner, off the back of the rim. Van Ellison, Callaway from the left wing, rattles out. Faust stays with it. They'll say last touch out of bounds by Elijah Cox. Possession stays with the Hornets.
well, it looked maybe like Faust got that last touch. Hit the bottom of the backboard with the ball in his hand. Maybe a lucky break for Lynchburg again.
Hart underneath, Henderson up and in. Phillips McLeod, a little bit of shake, a little bit of bake, no good. Callaway on the right wing, step back jumper, no good. Once again, just can't get the roll. Phillips McLeod has it poked away by Hart, but possession will remain with the Wildcats. And we will get a immediate timeout. 1:45 to go here in the first half. Lynchburg out in front by 15, 52-37.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. An ODAC showdown between crosstown rivals, the Lynchburg Hornets and the Randolph Wildcats. Pearson Young has gotten off to a hot start with 15 points in the first half on 6 of 10 shooting from the floor. Michael Gray right behind him with 12 on 2 of 4 shooting from the perimeter.
We talk about Young's been struggling the last couple games. It's a really nice bounce back, 15 points in the first half so far.
Here's a three-pointer, no good. Off the front of the rim, rebound gathered by Faust. Hart underneath, Henderson cutting in. A beautiful finish as he kisses it off the glass for 2.
Well, not only does this Lynchburg offense show their physicality, but they show a lot of speed too when they're driving.
Weehee pull-up jumper, no good. A rebound corralled by Eli Thomas. Van Ellison has it batted out of bounds. Last touch by Weehee. He hit the deck.
It was a really nice job by Weehee to recognize the pass going towards the offensive end. Really job cutting that out and stopping the fast break.
And while not related to the ODAC, a general announcement for your basketball fans. NBA All-Star Jimmy Butler is about to be traded to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a first-round pick.
Yeah, big trade for both those teams there.
As we digress, back to ODAC play. Nellison on the inside, goes up and fouled by Cole Perry. The 7th team foul. Lynchburg in the bonus for the rest of the first half as Nellison earns a pair. Van Ellison shooting 53% from the free throw line this season. And he's someone that has started to earn more and more playing time as this season has really moved along. Played 21 minutes in their most recent game against Randolph-Macon, where he contributed 5 points. It was that Washington and Lee game the last time the Hornets were here at home where he really had a stellar performance, scored 16 points while connecting on 3 triples. Here comes the trap from Lynchburg. Perry tips it away. Van Ellison tried to keep it in bounds and just threw it right back to the Lynchburg bench. So Randolph will hang on with 17 on the shot clock, 42 on the game clock. And Elijah Cox enters the game in place of Maurice Davis. Phillips McLeod in place of Cole Perry.
Well, getting points here with just 42 seconds left in this first half is so important for both of these teams. You want momentum going into halftime.
And it doesn't feel like this is where you try and push for a 2-for-1. You just want a quality shot. Great defense from Henderson to poke it away, but Graham recovers. Graham with 3 on the shot clock. Got to get something up. Phillips McLeod just draws the backboard and a shot clock violation. Lynchburg will hold on for the final possession, and this is a Hornet team that is on pace for 112 points tonight.
A really nice job on both ends of the court for Lynchburg. There's so many great things we can say about a bunch of players on this team. We said at the beginning that they have a lot of talent on this team.
Here comes the trap. Phillips McLeod draws the steal. 15 on the game clock. Philip McLeod, end over end. And Lynchburg takes it right back. Here's Cole Calloway. Draws the blocking foul. Faust wanted it on the doorstep. He was wide open on the opposite block.
Boy, wouldn't that have been a way to end this half for the Lynchburg Hornets?
An alley-oop.
That would have been
same
electric.
way you started as you finish it. If you're just now joining us, Lynchburg got things going today with an alley-oop up to Jamarcus Brown. And since then, Lynchburg has rode that momentum all throughout the first 20 minutes. Moments away from taking a 20-point advantage into halftime. Now, I don't got the numbers in front of me, but I think that might be the best of the season. Going back to the Ware and Wilson game, which was the second game of the year. And that was the game where Lynchburg scored the 3rd most points in program history. Hornets drop back into cover 3. Half-court heave, off the mark. 58-31 our score. Lynchburg out in front. I mean, really feels like nothing short of a dominant opening 20 minutes of action.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams bringing the intensity. Obviously, with the Wildcats only having 37, they're going to have a lot of work to do to come back into this one. But Lynchburg going to have a lot of positives to talk about.
Well, we will take a brief hiatus and step away for about 10 minutes. Stick with us here on LHSN as the Hornets take on the Randolph Wildcats.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic and Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Hi, Mara Willis. How are you? Pretty good.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something. It becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you, and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you, and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here, you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay. We're good.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole. No matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives, it brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win.
Hello and welcome back into Turner Gymnasium here on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. It's the Hornets out in front 58-37 through the first 20 minutes. It's really been all Lynchburg thus far, Ethan.
Absolutely. Complete domination from both ends of the court. I really want to highlight Lynchburg. Their field goal percentage is 61.1%. They are just not missing. It's been absolutely fantastic. Defensive side, they've been doing a really good job. Although Jordan Phillips-McLeod has been also doing a fantastic job on the offensive end for the Wildcats.
So with that, we'll take a look at the numbers through the first 20 minutes. I mean, you said it, Lynchburg really out in front in every single statistical category. Those rebounds really jump out at you, 21-10.
Well, everything really jumping out at you. 21-10 rebounds, 13-4 assists. Turnovers are a little the same. Both teams can hopefully dwindle those down a couple, but both teams doing a really good job.
Randolph really going to need to kickstart on both ends of the floor here in the next 20 minutes to claw their way back into this ball game that has really been dominated by the Hornets in almost every single facet of the game, and really all starts with your key playmaker in Phillips-McLeod. But nonetheless, with that being said, we're now joined by our very own Kevin Nestor on this sideline with head coach Hillary Scott. Kevin?
Thanks, guys. Coach Scott coming out of the half. What's the message to the guys? We saw the momentum. You guys did a good job of keeping the first half. How do you keep it up here in the second?
Yeah, it just all boils down to defense for us. Got to come with that same energy, enthusiasm, attention to detail on the scout. And, the first 5 minutes is always key. Start off both halves.
We saw a lot of guys getting foul trouble early, a lot of subs coming in. What was the message to the guys to kind of tell them, hey, keep that defensive energy up, maybe not foul as much?
Yeah, that's exactly what. Our guys are trying to play hard. They've got really good players, guys that can score the ball. And so we're playing with a lot of urgency. We just got to cut the fouls out. But I like our aggressiveness. I just want us to continue to do that here in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck, man.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Great to hear from Hillary Scott before we enter the next 20 minutes. And the word aggressive really stands out. That's how they began this game, and that's how they played the first 20 minutes of basketball.
Absolutely. I love the way that Lynchburg's been playing with that aggressiveness. And one thing that Coach Scott said that I would really like to harp on is it's the first 5 minutes coming out of the half that are the most important. Keeping that intensity, not letting Randolph back into this game. Obviously, with halftime here, it ices a little bit of the Hornets and Randolph. It allows them to maybe get a possibility to come back into this game. But the first 5 minutes, most important in this one. got to keep their comeback to a halt. You know Randolph's going to bring that intensity back into this second half. Got to do whatever you can to halt Phillips McLeod in this second half.
Well, Phillips McLeod did have a pretty solid opening 20 minutes, to say the least. 15 points. That leads the way for Randolph and ties all scores with Pearson Young. 4 for 9 from the floor, but really stands out. We've been harping on it all day long. 7 for 8 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to knock down those free throws, shooting over 80% on this season. Tops that list in the ODAC. You really, if you're Randolph, you got to get everybody involved. It can't just be Phillips McLeod. He's been doing a fantastic job, and he will give you probably, a good amount of points in this second half, but you got to get the rest of your team involved, keep that intensity up, and give it right back to Lynchburg.
Next couple of minutes will be quite crucial for both of these teams. If you're a Lynchburg fan, you know how the last 2 games at home have gone. You led in both contests. You led by a lot against Roanoke, and you couldn't pull off the signature win as they fell to both teams on buzzer-beating game winners.
Well, if you're Randolph, that's exactly what you're going to harp on. You know that this Lynchburg team is going to give you opportunities. As long as you can seal that, you're going to get a good chance of coming back in this game.
And Lynchburg has struggled to defend the three-point shot this season, but right now Randolph just can't connect. They've had open looks all night long, with 3 of 10 from downtown. Jonathan Faust will start off the second half, matched up against Philip McLeod in the top of a 1-3-1 zone. A 6-foot senior guard dishes it in the corner for James Jr., dumps it off, and a finish on the interior from Gorham. Now here comes the full court press, and Randolph starts to ramp up the intensity. Pearson Young, a long pass. Here's Faust throwing it up. Brown with a jam.
That's exactly how they started the first half, and that is exactly how they're going to start the second one.
Brown with an early bucket. It's the same way that he started the first half. Turnstile shot, no good from Wagner. Rebound Mike Gray. Faust throwing it down. 2 emphatic jams to kick off the second half here. That was begun with Jamarcus Brown. As Mike Gray pulls away in transition, Gray underneath. Can't get it to go out of bounds. And for more on Jamarcus Brown and his accomplishments outside of basketball, we have Kevin Esther. Kevin?
Thank you, guys. Jamarcus Brown, that's a guy who was a highlight standout in high school. He came in as a basketball player, but in high school on the track team, he jumped 7 foot in the state championship to win his first ever state title. For reference, in the ODAC, that would put him as a national qualifier right now. So he's an athlete in basketball and in track and field. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kevin. Obviously, you can see he has a whole lot of athleticism with those legs. Here's Michael Gray off the curl. Step back three-pointer. Got it! Michael Gray! Scorching hot from deep.
We talk about Jamarcus and his athleticism, but look at this, a step back 3, drains it with an and one opportunity. That's what you want to see out of your shooter. He's been hot all night.
He cannot be stopped. You can only hope to contain him. Michael Gray, what a start to today's game. 6 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 5 from deep. Now 1 of 1 from the charity stripe to go along with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And only 12 minutes. We're just getting started. Phillips McLeod hanging in the air, draws the foul on Hart. Once again, another trip for Phillips McLeod.
That's what he's so good in doing in this offensive end. He loves to drive into the paint, draw as much contact as possible. He's so devastating at the free throw line for any team that goes up against him.
First free throw is up and in. It's a 26-point lead for Lynchburg right now. They've been getting anything they want. There you can see the Jamarcus hammer in transition. Second free throw, no good, an uncharacteristic miss. Hart working on Graham, or James Jr. rather. Pearson Young, pull-up jumper at the stripe, you bet.
Every single player just feels automatic on that court for the Hornets.
A long triple, James Jr. no good. Connected on one of those earlier in the first half. Once again, a 25% three-point shooter, but not afraid to let it fly today. Carving his way underneath, scoops it up and in. Crafty finish on the inside. Once again,
a really great job by Weehee to keep that play going, getting that offensive board.
Pearson Young driving inside, scoop shot no good. Faust the offensive rebound. He'll reset. Michael Gray trying it from deep, no good. Off the back iron. Phillips McLeod trying to go coast to coast. And poked away by Hart. Now here comes Gray. Crossover, inside dump off, Faust lays it up and in, off the square.
Faust doing a fantastic job finding the open space every single possession.
Those two can't connect. Out of bounds, Lynchburg ball. The 12th turnover today for Randolph. Tyler Buggs enters the game for Lynchburg. Jamarcus pulling his way inside and a blocking foul on Weehee. Our cameraman getting close and personal down there on the baseline.
Brian Flowers, another one of Lynchburg's athletes, track and field, and a great cameraman.
We've got a whole lot of athletes helping us out today with our game day operations, whether that be at the scores table or up here in the adjunct press box. Not necessarily a box, a long desk.
Well, we got lucky with this. They made it a couple years ago. You know, shortly after these bleachers got replaced, it used to be all wooden bleachers, and now obviously you can see black bleachers with the red seats, comfortable red seats.
Yeah, the seats are actually quite popular.
Yeah, they are nice. Everybody, you saw it after the women's, well, if you saw it after the women's basketball game, everybody flooded trying to save their seats. Obviously, it's like every single game that I've worked, softball's up there running to get the red seats because they're so comfortable.
Brown, a 52% free throw shooter on this season. Misses them both. Diop almost lost it out of bounds, able to get it over to Graham. And we'll get a stoppage here. Looks like the shot clock wasn't running. I won't shout out which student athlete that was in front of the shot clock. Nevertheless, this is a Randolph team that, you know, comes into this game second in the conference in scoring, but dead last in points allowed per game. And really, it seemed like the latter has shown more so today.
Well, absolutely, and you can definitely tell that that's the scouting report that Lynchburg's gone into with this game. I'm sure every single coach is saying you're going to get opportunities if you have the aggressiveness to take them.
James Jr. corkscrewing his way inside for the two. And this is a Lynchburg team that has had two games that have really felt like were ripped away from you. And if those two games go the other direction and you don't lose on consecutive buzzer beaters in conference play, you're sitting at a much more comfortable spot at 7th in the conference and 12-8 overall. Right now you're really fighting for your life at 4-7 in conference play and 10-10 overall.
Have to win every single game at this point if you're Lynchburg. You got to win almost every single game. Obviously, you want to win every game, but when you get closer to the end of the season, every single win and every single loss, it hurts so much more, and it counts more when you win.
Well, here's Bugs at the stripe, another 50% shooter on this season for Lynchburg. But when you look at the remaining schedule for the Hornets, you have Shenandoah at home this Saturday, then a week off, and a very tough test against Randolph, making the number 7 ranked team in the country. The second time they'll play this season here in Turner. Their last game was in Ashland just this past Saturday. Then you have Bridgewater on the road, and you welcome Virginia Wesleyan, another tough team that's just teetering right outside the top 25 and took down Lynchburg in dominant fashion when they played in Virginia Beach earlier this season, 59-97. That Virginia Wesleyan team, you know, that 97 mark is extremely impressive, but their defense has been one of, if not the best in the conference this year.
Yeah, absolutely. A really tough schedule to finish out the regular season for Lynchburg. Could be good for them going into the playoffs. Tough matchups.
Stolen away by Brown. Hart trying to take it coast to coast. Banks it home off the glass. Inside, a blocking foul. A bang-bang play, but Bugs doesn't have it go his way, and Gorham will now head to the free throw line.
Bugs a little frustrated, thought he got both feet planted.
Well, let's see if we could take another look at that. There might have been a chance he had a heel in the restricted area. And nevertheless, I mean, those are the kind of bang-bang plays that can really go either way. A lot of times the comparison to another sport in football is when you have a jump ball and there's a lot of hand fighting.
Unfortunately, tough calls always have to be made.
But to be quite frank, this game, it has felt like majority of whistles have gone in favor of Lynchburg.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, do you think that maybe could be that it's a code red game? You want to cater to the fans? I know you're not supposed to do that, but
not at all.
But like I said, there's always going to be tough calls that have to be made. And
Jamarcus is straightaway three. You bet. You don't see him step out on the perimeter a whole lot. That time he cashes in.
Well, it seems like nobody on this Lynchburg team can miss.
As a group, they are shooting 64% from the field. Michael Gray kicks in the corner. Hart, no good. Missed almost everything. Caught the edge of the backboard.
You see Jamarcus questioning that foul called on him. A little bit of contact on that rebound.
Still a 30-point advantage for Lynchburg. This is their largest lead of the day. They have led from the opening whistle.
Throughout this game, it's all about extending that lead, and Lynchburg's been doing a perfect job at that.
Nice crossover from Graham to carve his way inside. Basket's no good. Botched the finish. Underneath, it's Faust on Diop. Too strong. Phillips McLeod sees an opening, attacks, gets the finish.
The athleticism of Phillips McLeod is unmatched. He's been doing so well in this game, driving towards the paint.
Randolph in dire need of a pair of stops and stringing a couple of buckets together. Looking for Bugs underneath over the top of Phillips McLeod. The pass was too shallow, but somehow Bugs earns the whistle. A foul was given to Phillips McLeod, and that is his first personal, the team's fourth. And we will step away for immediate timeout. 76-48, Lynchburg out in front.
When creating a sustainable future, your choices matter, even your choice of a college. The University of Lynchburg is the first college in Virginia to go carbon neutral. Our dining hall is Green Restaurant certified. We compost all of our food waste and purchase our electricity from landfill gas. Now we're turning a hazardous lake into a thriving urban wetland. When you choose Lynchburg, you leave a smaller footprint while building a better tomorrow.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium with the Hornets out in front. It's been the backcourt leading the way tonight. These are your three leading scorers in tonight's contest. Philip McLeod leading the charge with 18. Check that, Pearson Young now leading the charge with 19 points on 8 of 13 shooting from the floor. I mean, those three have really put on a show today. But really the difference maker is right now we've got 2 Hornets on that graphic and just 1 Wildcat.
Well, 2 of those Hornets making their way towards 20. And Pearson Young, we talked about how he's been struggling the last couple games with that ankle issue. He's been showing no signs of fatigue.
None whatsoever. Pearson Young, coast to coast, kisses it off the square. Phillips McLeod, so crafty. $1 million move, but a 10-cent finish. And now Lynchburg takes it the other way. I mean, he looked like the Air Jordan logo there for a split second.
That's a dangerous game you're playing, Joe.
I'm telling you, we can look at it again after the game. I'm telling you.
We'll have to, yeah, we'll have to do that after the game.
Put that silhouette on the ODAC logo.
We'll compare it.
Michael Gray draws the whistle at the timeline. This one will be charged against Diop for his first personal team's 5th. Nobody really in foul trouble tonight aside from Jamarcus Brown. He only played 12 minutes despite a great contest tonight, 4 of 4 from the field. Long pass, Michael Gray picks it up and goes up through contact and finishes with the left hand.
Michael Gray has been so emphatic tonight. He's been doing an amazing job. That's going to put him at 18 points. We said earlier, both him and Young are so close to that 20-point mark. They've been doing an amazing job for this Lynchburg offense, and they are red hot.
Graham across midcourt, takes a high screen. Diop, driving baseline, turning back, poked away. Faust comes up with a loose ball. Now Gray, pull up 3, money! Michael Gray, 4 for 7 from deep. Phillips McLeod the response.
What a series of events in this basketball game. A huge step up 3 for Michael Gray. And McLeod says right back at you.
Pearson Young driving in with the right hand. Goes up and puts it through. Pass poked away by Bugs. Wildcats hold on to possession. take us to a stopping point. Lynchburg with a commanding lead out in front, 87-51. Pearson Young, Michael Gray leading the charge.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium here at Wayne Prophet Court. It's the Lynchburg Hornets out in front of their crosstown rival, the Randolph Wildcats, 87-51. This is a game that really means a lot for the Lynchburg Hornets as we approach down the stretch. You can take a look at the ODAC standings. Lynchburg falls right in there at the 8th spot. You'd love to climb up there, but right now really feels like there's an upper echelon of Roanoke and up through that 1 through 5 spots. But never count out a risky team that's at the bottom of those rankings.
Absolutely, every win counts, and it's really all about who's hot going into the playoffs.
Well, Lynchburg will have 4 more ODAC contests following today, 3 of which will be at home, as Henderson is tacked with a foul and will send the big fella to the line. Cox is 75% free throw shooter on this season. And splits the pair here. Trap evaded once again. Faust had a runway right in front of him, but an errant pass causes a turnover. 2-on-1. Phillips McLeod with a finish.
There he is again, McLeod, number 1. Always going to put you on your back foot.
Michael Gray caught in a straitjacket. Henderson will take a timeout. And Hillary Scott and company will talk things over. 87-55, a tick under 11 to go here in this ball game. And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. It's Lynchburg and Randolph in a Hill City clash. The fans are on their feet after the Black Association of Students just gave out a 55-inch smart TV. Good day to buy a raffle ticket.
Oh, absolutely. Did you get a raffle ticket?
I did not.
I didn't get one either. I feel a little left out.
Obviously great to have those at the Code Red games. Certainly gets everybody juiced up and having a good time. Michael Gray from way downtown off the front of the rim. Rebound corralled by Cox. Stolen away from Thomas. Michael Gray for Eli Thomas. Goes up and in.
Looked like he wanted to get the dunk there. Settled for a layup.
He's got to hit the weight room a little bit more before he can climb up like Jamarcus or Faust. Out of bounds, last touch by Hart. He's trying to appeal with the official. I can promise you that will not overturn it. Michael Gray exit the contest. Pearson Young will take his spot. Those two in Young and Gray have combined for 44 points tonight. Beautiful finish by James Jr.
Really great show of athleticism.
Thomas over to Faust. He'll lay it with his point guard and run the half-court offense. Pearson Young fading away, no good. Faust the offensive rebound. Now Hart will reset. They go underneath for Henderson. Spinning his way to the baseline. John Henderson with a nice finish. And another turnover.
Those small mistakes that are really biting Randolph in the bottom here, really helping them struggle. And what Lynchburg's doing really well is when they get the ball in the offensive end, you obviously like to play a fast game of basketball, but they've been doing a really good job slowing it down. You have a big lead. You know you're going to score points on this team. They've been doing a really good job slowing the process down, which in turn slows Randolph down at the same time.
Pearson Young over for Faust. Now Thomas on the right elbow. Henderson, short corner, back up, Faust, he'll try a deep three. Off the back iron. Just had to let that one go as the shot clock was expiring. And a blocking foul on Pearson Young. That'll be Young's third personal and the team's fifth. Or pardon me, team's sixth.
Pearson Young, as you can look and see, he's not one of the biggest players on the court. Not that he's small, but he's not as big as Faust or Henderson, but he's also not afraid to take that contact. And even on the defensive end, or in the offensive end, any contact he's willing to take. Defensive player of the month a couple times. He's a really great asset for this Lynchburg team, offense and defense.
Well, the steal column tonight has certainly been packed. Pearson does have one, but Hart, Faust, and Brown all with 3 apiece. James Jr. working on Young. He'll dish back up top. Phillips McLeod, extra pass. A hesitation, a floater inside, no good. Young, he's feeling it. Didn't find anything there. Phillips McLeod, he's got the green light. Kick out, James Jr. connects.
Fantastic job driving up the court, finding the open man in the corner. And a really nice, smooth shot by Timothy James Jr.
Gorham with the flush. Absolutely filthy. And a timeout taken by Hillary Scott as his Hornets are out in front. It's the Lynchburg Hornets out in front of the Randolph Wildcats, 91-62. And an dominant offensive performance from the Lynchburg Hornets, shooting 62% from the field.
Yeah, every single player on this team, they're playing with such confidence, driving to the paint and doing everything they can to put the ball in the net. They've been doing a fantastic job.
Here's Callaway at center court. Gets it across the timeline to Hart. Guarded by Phillips McLeod. 2 high screens. Takes the one from Henderson. Dish back out to Buggs. Underneath for Henderson. Can't get the finish. Great defense at the mountaintop by Diop. James Jr. underneath. Kicked away by Hart. A smart heads-up play to disrupt the entry feed. How about having Dell in the crowd tonight?
Always love to see the Hornet mascot. Gives you a little bit more intensity into the stands. There he is.
Dell certainly a fan favorite.
Who do you think's in the suit?
What suit?
Oh, you're right. My bad.
James Jr. in the corner. And a heel on the line out of bounds will be another turnover, the 19th of the night for Randolph.
That's really been the difference maker in this matchup between these two teams, is Lynchburg has been able to score not just on the floor but off of turnovers. They've been doing a really nice job.
Callaway driving kick well up top for Young. Nellison in the corner. No good. Callaway stays with it. A whistle stops momentum of Phillips McLeod. Unsure what the call is. You got any idea, Moratsky?
I'm thinking maybe somebody stepped out of bounds. They're going to say McLeod stepped out right at the L.
I think you're right.
And I tell you what, Lynchburg is lucky because Phyllis McLeod and James Jr. were off to the races.
Nevertheless, the shot clock resets now at 15 seconds. Jamarcus Brown heads to the scores table. And Nellison, extra pass, Buggs, pump fake. Drive inside, spins back, fadeaway at the elbow, rejected at the peak by Davis. James Jr. calling for a screen, help doesn't come. Now it's Davis working on Henderson. Gets it right back, goes up once again and draws the foul.
Like he might have gotten a block on that initial shot. Really great job getting that offensive board for the Wildcats, giving themselves a chance at the free throw line.
This will be Maurice Davis' second trip to the stripe today. He went 0 for 2 on his first time to the line. This season shooting 52%. As Brown, Hart, and Faust re-enter the contest for Lynchburg. Graham takes the place of Phillips McLeod for the Wildcats. And it's getting to that stage, Moratsky, where it's starting to feel somewhat out of reach for the Wildcats. With 6.5 to go, trailing by 27.
Yeah, big lead from the Hornets, and they've kept it ever since the first points of the game, extending their lead throughout the first half and this second half. They've done a really nice job. Randolph, first half, they were keeping it competitive. They were coming back. Lynchburg and Randolph were going back and forth. Lynchburg stepped on the gas pedal, never looked back.
And Randolph has gone on a little bit of a run here. They've made 5 of their last 6 field goal attempts. They're on a 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes, but starting to feel like a little too late. Starting to feel like a little too late. Too little too late. I'm really struggling with that. Wow.
Yeah, that's the one you were looking for.
Hart up top. Entry pass stripped away by Diop. Now Diop on the other end. Right under the tin. Can't get the finish. Botched the lay-in. 91-64 with 6 minutes to go. Faust caught in a straitjacket. Callaway's now in trouble, but poked that away. Last touched by a black jersey.
Seen a lot of double teams lately against Lynchburg. Randolph been doing a really nice job keeping that pressure on them, no matter what the score line is.
Diop jumped the screen. Whistle given to Veruso. That is the 7th team foul, so Young heads to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Eli Thomas comes in place of Callaway. First free throw is up and in. 24 points here for Pearson Young. And make it 25. That ties the season high for the Lynchburg native.
Well, Pearson Young, one of the 2 players in the 20-plus point column, but it's really everybody on this team that's been doing a part. You see 8, 7, 9, 5, 6, 6. This whole entire Lynchburg roster has been amazing today. They've been playing really well and confident and like a team. And it's the reason why they're up big.
Hart is looking for some kind of help. Thomas gets it back. Faust for Jamarcus. Hop step, spins back, fades away, no good. Eli Thomas right there to clean it up.
Doing a great job, a show of athleticism by Jamarcus. An even better play by Thomas to keep that one within the Hornets and put it back in there.
An air ball from Diop on the layup. Now you can clearly feel that Lynchburg starting to slow things down. Happy to take their time the rest of the way. Eli Thomas in the corner. No good. Three-point shot on the way. Veruso, no good. Offensive rebound, Liero. No good. Batted around. Thomas comes away with a loose ball. Veruso is sagging off Brown. He thought about a 3. They're just trying to burn as much clock as they can right now. And Veruso will send Pearson Young to the free throw line.
This is definitely the slowest that the game has been tonight. I'm sure Lynchburg's not really minding one bit. Just a little above 3.5 minutes. Like you said, they're going to try and waste every single second of every possession.
Pearson Young, a new season high now with 26. Second one up and in, 2 for 2 at the charity stripe.
Lynchburg 3 points away from hitting that 100 mark. That's always a really nice milestone every single game to hit. That's another reason why this Lynchburg offense just has not missed. They've been red hot for Code Red.
A red hot offensive performance it has been indeed. 58% from the floor for the Lynchburg Hornets. And also added in 8 triples and a really stellar day from the free throw line as well, I might add. Pearson Young can't get his three-point attempt to go. Jamarcus, the offensive rebound, and the Hornets will use another 20 seconds. Jonathan Faust inside, too strong. Jamarcus the follow.
Beautiful play from both the forwards up in the paint and under the room. Really nice spin by Faust, putting the first shot up, and a nice rebound from Jamarcus and a putback.
Well, we will step aside. The Hornets one away from this century mark, 99-66. And we welcome you back into the contest. Lynchburg out in front by 33. A dominant performance led by Pearson Young with a new career high tonight with 27 points. And it looks like his night is most likely concluded as a host of substitutions came in during that timeout.
Really nice game from Pearson, shooting 10 for 18 field goal attempts. I mean, 7 for 8 from the line too. All those points stacking up to a beautiful game of 27 points.
And it wasn't necessarily a poor performance from Randolph on the offensive end, but defensively, they really just did not have an answer for anything that was thrown at them this evening, whether that was the backcourt tandem of Young and Gray or Faust and Brown on the inside. Every Hornet that has stepped on the floor tonight has recorded at least 4 points.
Lynchburg offense spreading the love tonight.
Bench points almost identical with 25 and 24. Underneath, Henderson with a flush.
Easy does it, Henderson. He's gotten those looks all night.
James Jr. botched the lay-in. Van Nellison over for Mike Gray. Step back triple. No good. Trying to add to his night.
Not afraid to add to the lead here also.
James Jr. across the key, flips it up and in. What a night it's been for James Jr., especially here in the second half. 19 points. He has shot 7 for 19 from the floor, a pair of threes. Van Nellison right on cue. Buries it from beyond the arc.
And going back to James Jr., like you said, 19 points. He's done a really nice job for this Randolph offense.
No, he's done everything asked of him, and he's been extraordinarily efficient this evening.
Absolutely.
And a guy that isn't by any means their go-to scorer. This season, he's averaging 3.6 points per game. We have seen flashes from the first-year player, but this is a new career high for James Jr. tonight, now with 20 points. His previous career high was set against Hampton Sydney on January 22nd, where he scored 11. He's cracked double figures 4 times this year, including tonight.
Yeah, 7 for 9, shooting 77.8 field goal percentage, and 2 of those being from behind the arc.
I mean, most nights, 73 points keeps you in the ball game, if not enough to get it done. Is Callaway with a fancy Euro step inside for the deuce.
Like you were saying, 73 points, that's typically going to win you a game. The defense just hasn't really shown up, and this Lynchburg Hornets offense still, even with less than a minute left in the game, they're not. There's no red light. It's all green for them.
Good to see Sean Valentine back into the game for Lynchburg. I shouldn't say back in the game, but in the game for Lynchburg. Valentine has missed a couple of weeks due to injury. And it dates back almost 2-3 weeks. Callaway underneath. No good. Nobody's home on the doorstep, but took his eye off the ball, dribbled it right off his foot. James Jr. over the arms of Nellison. Can't get the bucket, but earns a foul, and a pair of free throws upcoming. And we haven't seen Valentine suit up since the Ferrum game, actually, which goes all the way back to December 7th. James Jr. adding to his career night, now with 23 points. Shot clock turned off, and this will all but do it. 106-78. A great win for the Lynchburg Hornets. That snaps a losing streak here at home. After starting the year 5-0 in Turner Gymnasium, they dropped 3 consecutive games, ran into quality opponents in Hampton, Sydney, Roanoke, and Washington in late, 2 of which included buzzer beaters. But it was the Hornets' backcourt that catapulted them to a big-time victory against their crosstown rival this evening. Pearson Young led the charge with 27. Michael Gray right behind him with 21.
Yeah, we can obviously talk about Pearson Young and Michael Gray for the rest of this night, but it's really the entire team that stepped up. Everybody did an amazing job for this Lynchburg offense, and that, like you said, offense is really what catapulted them. Wildcats scoring 78. It's a really, really good job by the Hornets.
Well, we'll be joined by Kevin Nestor just in a moment. But what a game, and obviously a tough night for the Wildcats when you score 78 but just can't get over the hump and struggle to stop anyone on the defensive end. Nonetheless, Kevin Nestor now joins us on this sideline with our player of the game tonight with Pearson Young, who scored 27 points, a new career high. Kevin?
Here with a player of the game, Pearson Young. Pearson, first of all, a new career high. What does that mean for you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, I couldn't have done without my teammates, and ball was just going through the whole night.
And on the other side of that, my opinion, your most underrated part of your game, defense. You guys did good clamping, getting momentum in the first half and holding on to it the entire game. How did you and your team continue to hold that momentum throughout the entirety of the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's our backbone of our team is defense. We really strive ourselves for that, and that's the pride we take. And we know they're a really good offensive team. They get to go, and they got a go-to guy, number 1. So we knew tonight was going to be about our defense, and I thought we did pretty well with that.
And final question, I was sitting on the sideline with some Wildcat fans behind me. They were chirping you the whole game. You answered by dropping 20, I think it was 27 on them. You got any words for them as they head back across town?
No, it's all love. Grew up in Lynchburg my whole life, so a lot of people kind of know me. I know a lot of people around here too, so it's cool. I love it.
Thank you, brother. Good game. Enjoy tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kevin. A career high 27 points for the Lynchburg native as the Hornets head into their next game with a win under their belt against the crosstown rival. For Joe Brennan, Ethan Moratsky, and all of us here at LHSN, thank you and have a good night.